The Fabian Socialist motto is, remold the world nearer to the heart's desire. This picture is a description of Bertrand Russell's cathedral window, in which you see two men reshaping the world. Oh, indeed, they pray for this reshaping of the world. And above the world, you'll see a shield with a wolf in sheep's clothing. They are planning to destroy America. Well, this is the Gore Report on Reinventing Government. We are reinventing what the Founding Fathers gave us. Thank you, Al Gore. Interestingly enough, this little report on reinventing government, creating a government that works better and costs less, you will see some very interesting symbolism. You'll see 4 stars that are 5-pointed inverted stars on this document, which represent a pentagram, the Star of Satan. Now, the government does not make mistakes like this, and to prove that they didn't make a mistake, they did the same thing at the bottom of this document. And I didn't bring the whole pamphlet with me, but on the back of it, there's bullets, and they're all 5-pointed inverted pentagrams as well. Now, if you know that the Al Gore family has always been financed by Arm & Hammer, who financed the Bolshevik Revolution along with others, that ought to be a scary thought, and it might explain just a little bit of why we may be seeing pentagrams mixed in with our vice president. This picture right here on Arm & Hammer's shelf is a picture of his friend, Lenin. This says, to Comrade Armand Hammer. So obviously money controls what's happening in Washington, D.C. Now, long ago, there was a war against an evil man, we were told. I believe he was an evil man, Adolf Hitler. The individuals who represented the various parts of the world, the Allied nations, who fought Hitler, are seen here. Stalin, FDR, and Churchill. What do these individuals all have in common? Were they Catholics? No. They were all of the same religion, though, and that religion was the religion of Freemasonry. And Adolf Hitler mentioned that he had a pack of Freemasons fighting against him. Going back to symbolism, which is absolutely key to the New World Order, in this European poster for travel, we see all inverted pentagrams. Below, the Tower of Babel. To the side, Europe, many tongues, one voice. I love this poster because it shows really what they think of us. If you can see down here at the bottom of this, it's a bunch of people, workers, some with children and so on, and these people are made out of blocks. In other words, we're a bunch of blockheads. Now, the New Age spirituality, which is coming into, it's here, it's now, it's not coming at all. It's probably pretty well over. It's symbolized by edifices in the United States. This happens to be one. This is called the Guidestones of Reason. It's in Elberton, Georgia. Take a trip. It's there. We have a new 10 Commandments today. The first commandment on this new Guidestones of Reason is maintain the population under 500 million. Now that's a vote for depopulation if I've ever heard one. Just if you'd like to travel there, this is a map. It's northeast of Atlanta. about an hour's drive. Alberton, Georgia. Many people have gone there now, and they've actually seen this. Now, the New Age. The New Age has been with us for a long, long time. It is not something new. Where does the New Age come from? It comes from Freemasonry. The New Age is a magazine. The magazine has been published by the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry for 100 years. Until Paul Fisher came out with his book, Behind the Lodge Door, with over 1,000 references from this journal, and they changed the name from the New Age to something else. So the New Age is Masonic. The all-seeing eye is Masonic symbolism. It's on the back of the American dollar bill. It's an occultic symbol. And it goes back to the days of ancient Egypt. Even in the eagle of E pluribus unum, occultic 13s, 13 leaves in the olive branches, 13 bars and stripes in the shield, 13 arrows, 13 letters in E pluribus unum, and on and on and on and on. This is something I received not long ago. It's a newsletter called Last Trumpet Newsletter. This individual says, beware of the Promise Keeper movement. Recently, there's been a great stir in so-called Christian circles about the movement known as Promise Keepers, founded in 1990 by Bill McCartney, blah, 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 football team, affected hundreds of thousands of men who claim to be Christian. Pastors from all across the nation are insisting that the men of their churches attend the Promise Keeper conventions. These are strictly for men only. He says, I do plan to complete expose of this group in the near future, but due to lack of available space, I will... I want to warn clearly, I see Freemasonry and witchcraft running through this movement, which has scheduled conventions in 13 major cities for this year. This movement now has attracted over 500,000 men to its ranks and expects to have 1 million. God help us, he says. This ecumenical apple is one that the Pope himself would love to pick. There is so much to be said about Promise Keepers, but a small sample of what they believe is as follows. Promise Keepers believe that as a part of mentoring, every man must be accountable to some other man, especially in the one's areas of finances, sexual life, and relationship to God. This partner gained through mentoring, then, must be given complete freedom to inquire into any of these areas at will. I thought that the tie-in between the 13s and this 13 was especially interesting. Now I have a quote from Mr. Manly P. Hall. Have any of you ever heard of Manly P. Hall? Manly P. Hall is a 33rd degree Freemason, he's dead now, and a Satanist. He says, it is the general opinion that revolutions begin with the common people. But this is not true. The benevolently informed always, he says, always guide and direct public opinion. Now, who's one of the benevolently informed? This individual was one. He was the sovereign pontiff of Freemasonry and the author of Morals and Dogma of Freemasonry. He told us in Morals and Dogma that the Knights Templars were excised, if you will, from Europe and from the Catholic Church because it was held that they worshipped strange gods. This god in particular, Baphomet, was one of them. The Knights Templar, some people believe, evolved, if you want to use the term, evolved into what we know now as current modern-day Freemasonry. You might say then that Freemasonry, at its core, worships Baphomet. Whether you believe that or not really doesn't matter. One thing we know, universal is Freemasonry. This is from Morals and Dogma, and you can see Freemasonry is everywhere. This is just one page. It's in the Northern Europe, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Holland, it's in Germany, it's in Berlin, it's in Hanover, it's all over the place, it's in Southern Europe, it's in Asia, it's in South America, and it's